So you mentioned Adam Smith and class and economy and the situation of the foreigner, the exile in China. I'm just going to go down a little bit now into the underground. It's a really interesting situation here because, in a way, the working people are really screwed here because they're, as in theory, they actually occupy the government, but in practice, this means that they're not allowed to actually organise themselves or form serious unions and create strikes, because that is breaking the unity and the harmony of the state. So actually, it's a kind of totalitarian capitalist system which you're living in here. And so, with this work with Adam Smith, he's like the kind of the antithesis of Marx, where he's the cheerleader of free market capitalism, and his stuff. I'm going to make a sort of tour of all the shopping malls around it. It's actually quite interesting. Around here, they've more or less given up on the outdoor and embrace shopping malls in a really big way. And I hate shopping malls. I really hate shopping malls more than most things. Anyway, so it's quite a thing to actually make work in a shopping mall for me. And Adam Smith is interesting because, in a way, he does point out exactly what the economic relationships are, how the employer and the employee in an economic dispute, the employer is likely to win 9 times out of 10. And so, I mean, it's also this sort of capitalistic wish fulfillment, his stuff. So it's dodgy on a whole other level. And so it'll be interesting to kind of put that text on top of these types of locations where you have these poor schmucks who are coming from Anhui province and being paid an absolute pittance and are meant to feel happy about it because they're part of this harmonious new country which is coming into being. In a way, as long as this the Communist Party is able to keep the game going, it will stay in power. But it has to put a lot of its energy into creating harmony rather than just enforcing harmony even. As for me, I'm in a kind of rather unusual position in that I find myself as being British. This means I am automatically propelled, in theory at least, into the middle classes. In actuality, it's a little bit complicated because it's contradictory. Because people see you as being middle class, then they often think they don't have to pay you, which is frustrating if you're an artist. There's this old tradition here that artists come from wealthy families and art is above money. And so, particularly being a Westerner and an artist, it's expected that money is not talked about and therefore not paid to you. So there can be misunderstandings as a result of that. But at the same time, there's also this way in which people will try often to impress you with the society and with food and with being extra generous in order to leave a positive impression of the country. It's a sort of a display of national pride, but on a personal level, because foreigners are relatively rare, and so there's relatively few chances to actually to make this display. So in a sense we benefit from it on the other sense. So it's a really kind of contradictory picture which you get as a foreigner here in China. Yeah.